Hello builders and welcome back to the World Zoo project, a giant zoo that is absolutely destroying the frame rate of my computer, but still I persist with this all species zoo. And in today's video we have for you the African leopards, the second predator going into our African section of the zoo. Before we get started, here's a reminder to like, comment, subscribe, and do all those YouTuber things if you enjoy this video, or click the link down below to follow me over on Twitch where I build this zoo live. But enough of the self-promotion, let's get on to the building, which is what you're probably here for. So we start off the build by creating a viewing area for the guests. After all, this is a zoo and guests need to see the animals. But this one has a little bit of a twist. In this case, the leopards get to see the guests right back. Well, it looks like I'm putting in one-way glass. The roof of this building will have a glass ceiling with some climbing frames above it. So leopards can hang out above the guests right on that glass. Is that safe? Probably not. I imagine that you need some kind of reinforced glass. But here at the zoo, we skip corners because it is expensive having all these species in. So if the glass breaks and the leopards end up eating some guests, well, that's just down on my food costs now, isn't it? Now, another note for this habitat I should point out is there is another viewing area to the right of the screen, and we had built that previously for the Fusa habitat. The leopards, of course, will be sharing that viewing area with them, and if you want to see that build, I will leave a link to it in the description down below, so check out that video as well. Also in that video is the sleeping area I had created for the Fusa, and that, of course, will be mirrored in this video. As you can see in the background right now, that round building is the sleeping area for the leopards, and is basically a mirror of what I had done in that video. Although I have to admit, this isn't a fully new concept for me. A lot of my larger other cats that love to climb, I do similar buildings with them because I just like the idea of them looking down at guests and just really salivating and just wanting to eat them so badly. That is, of course, the ongoing joke in this zoo, is that everyone gets fed to the animals, and that is why there are no guests in this video, because they're all been eaten. That, or I've had to disable guests for the simple reason that there was just too much in the zoo and my computer is dying every time I load it up. With that building complete, we can now start working on the exterior wall for the habitat. I am using walls I had done previously in other habitats just to link it all together with a similar theme for this African section. After that, we'll come around and start working on that beautiful rock work along the back wall, as well as a lovely tiered waterfall. Again, putting rocks all over to make it look as natural as possible. For the backdrops of my habitats, I always love doing rocks and plants, and just overall making it look more like a natural habitat for the animals, and for the guests too. After all, how often have you been to a zoo and it's just concrete and you just feel taken out place, but you go to a really good zoo and you see some nice effort put into the habitat designs? You know what? Those animals, they're probably a lot more happier. And a happy animal makes for a happy guest. Although I imagine the guests that fall into the habitats accidentally probably aren't as happy in those last few moments. But at least they get a nice close-up view of the animals, so there's that going for them. Now, here comes the part of the video where we're just going to take a quick moment and just relax and enjoy some therapeutic rock placement. I love placing rocks, and this is probably one of my favorite parts of any habitat build, is just going through and putting the rocks down. So let's just sit back, enjoy some music, and rock out for a moment. A real quick note, I want these leopards to be more of a transition animal between the tropical habitats and the savanna habitat, so I take out some tropical rocks in this section, and this half of the habitat will end up being a little bit more of a savanna grassland themed area, just to really blend the leopards into the rest of the African section. Ah, that was some lovely rock work. And it didn't take too long now, did it? A couple rocks here and there, and boom, it was lovely and done. Now we can come inside that round building I had mentioned earlier and start doing some climbing frames for the leopards. I could have taken the easy route and just copy pasted all the climbing frames I had done for the fossa, but I decided to give the leopards their own little treatment and make this interior look a little bit different from what I had done in the other habitat. After all, every animal needs its own personal touch. And like the fossa before them, these leopards had their fair share of climbing frame glitches. After I had built all the climbing frames in the habitat, I had to go through afterwards and just painstakingly try and figure out what was going on. Because leopards, well, they were escaping and glitching through the walls with their climbing frames. It is a known bug that happens in Planet Zoo sometimes, so I would recommend people to really double check that the climbing frames are not too close to the barriers of your habitat. Otherwise, the leopards will just glitch through and escape and start mauling people. Although that does also help cut down on my food costs if they're eating guests again. But I also prefer having controlled maulings within the confines of the habitat and not the leopards escaping. Otherwise, that just creates even more problems I do not want to think about. Speaking of controlled maulings, I have to give a kudos to the staff who willingly walk into these habitats thinking that they are going to be fine. I don't know why they think that they can just walk in and clean up the leopard poop without the leopards eating them, but they do. And I have to say, we're hiring now at the zoo, so make sure to send your resume in, because we need some high quality food. I mean, we need some high quality staff to take care of these animals. Jokes aside, I had a lot of fun building this habitat. I love doing climb frames now. I used to really dread doing climb frames, but as I've gotten more and more involved with them, I've really started to enjoy doing them now. Especially when I can put some trees up and build little tree houses for the animals to play in. A lovely building tip I have for you while doing your own climb frames is work on creating the larger platforms first, and then work at connecting them with some smaller logs and sticks or whatever you need. Another fun trick would be to try and connect them all together as well. That way the animals can move throughout their entire habitat without ever really needing to touch the ground. Although this doesn't work for larger animals, but it's certainly a nice key feature when you're putting in ones for some smaller creatures like monkeys or lemurs. And because the staff in this game are so lazy and hate getting their feet wet, I of course have to add in a little bridge for them. Again, I don't know what I pay these people for. I mean, really, when it comes to payday, I don't have to pay out that much because most of them just go missing when in these habitats. Still though, I think I'm paying them enough that they should be able to just get their feet wet and walk through the water, but no. The union says I need to put a bridge in for them. Well, we'll see what the union says when they go missing. Oh wait, actually wait, change that. I didn't say that. Don't tell the union. It's all okay. Staff are not going missing in these habitats. Neither are guests. Anyways, forgetting about what I just said about the union and all that, let's start doing some lovely decorating with the trees and bushes. I have to be careful where I put some of these trees, making sure that the leopards can't quite reach them, and also really making sure I disable the climbing on those trees as well. But with all the trees done, now we can just come in and start decorating with little bushes, grasses, and flowers, and overall trying to make this place look like a tropical habitat as well as a savanna grassland on one side. It's a bit of a small grassland, but I threw in a couple zebras in there for the leopards to munch on. As much as I love the rock work, I will always say that it's the final bit with the plants that really, quite literally, brings the habitat to life. I love putting in plants everywhere and really decorating those rocks with a bit of nice green hairdo. Never underestimate the power of a nice fresh haircut for your habitats, or your rocks. What am I saying? Something about making a habitat look nice. I think that's what I'm getting at. I feel like I'm going on a weird tangent, but that's just been this video in a nutshell, hasn't it? Well, that's pretty much it for this nutshell. This video is going to come to a lovely ending with a cinematic route tour for the leopards. And if you enjoyed this video at all, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, do those YouTuber things. Although I'm not going to beg. You do whatever you want. You're an adult. Or maybe you're not. I don't know how old you are. But either way, I hope you enjoyed a nice little time-lapse video of the leopards. And a friendly reminder, if you enjoyed this, make sure to click the link down below for my Twitch channel and come follow me over there, where I build these zoos and other projects live, where we just enjoy the prospect of building new things. Well, builders, I hope you have a good one. Goodbye!